Secretary Geithner, I see in the press that you have a plan to save the world's financial system. Where is your plan to rescue the United States system? We've been waiting for that.
Senator, thank you for raising that. We have moved, again, we've been in office 6 weeks. In that period of time,
no, but excuse me.
I just want to say this.
But
let me explain what we've done.
No, I'm not going to let you do that. Because you were part of the problem. You were the head of the Federal Bank of New York. You sat in on the meetings on TARP when it was decided. In fact, they give you credit for it being your plan. The former Secretary of the Treasury does.
Senator,
and Ben Bernanke has not denied that before our committees.
Senator, lots of people are going to be credited, and people are going to be blamed for lots of different things.
I didn't blame you for it. I said you're credited for it.
But let me just respond to your initial question. We have got to move, and we are moving very quickly. You have not seen a government move this quickly to address a crisis of magnitude ever before. Remember, it's been roughly 6 weeks since I took office. And in that period of time, we've launched this very powerful housing program, get to the heart of this crisis. We've started this very powerful program with the Fed to get lending going into small business and consumers. We've laid out a program for strengthening our nation's banks with detailed terms on the capital they have the potential ability to get from the government, all in this short period of time. We've proposed very substantial reforms to the conditions that come with our assistance, not just on dividends, on compensation, but on lending and transparency and accountability.
Mr. Secretary, I've got 6 minutes, and I want to ask some questions.
And this is a global crisis. It is in the interest of the United States that we have a global response, and export prospects for American business across the country will depend in part on how effective we are getting other countries to move with us.
Thank you. Last week, AIG's bailout bring a total to about $180 billion. I don't understand how one company is worth propping up $180 billion worth of taxpayers' money, and I don't think the American people understand it either. So tell us, why do you keep bailing out AIG? What is the risk, and who are the counterparties that we're really trying to save?
I agree it is an outrageous thing for our government to be in the position where a company was allowed to get to the point with no constraints that their future is critical to the future of the financial system.
Have you seen this report?
I don't see what it's referring to.
It's a strictly confidential report. AIG is the risk systemic, and it was supposed to be the document they presented to you all, or the Treasury, for the fourth tranche of money that they got.
Senator,
I got it from the New York Examiner of Insurance.
Happy to look at it, but I'll tell you my judgment. AIG is systemic. I wish it were not the case, but AIG is systemic. And the least cost way to the American taxpayer and the American people for dealing with that risk is to help this company restructure and get to the point where—
Where's the bottom line, Mr. Secretary?
The bottom line is that our job and my responsibility is to protect the security of the American—
Where's the bottom line for the American taxpayer, dollar-wise?
The bottom line is that we have to make sure, given the severity of this crisis and the fragility of the system, that we do everything necessary to protect against the risk that we have a disorderly failure of a major financial institution. I mean, just look back to what happened in the fall.
I did.
And look how
disagreed completely with what you did.
No, but remember, I was if you look at the consequences for the American economy.
I looked at the consequences.
But if you
I looked at Bear Stearns. I looked at Lehman Brothers. I looked at all the things that were going on at the time, and disagreed completely with what was happening.
And Senator, I do respect your views on this, and I understand your concerns about it. But this is a basic judgment about what is necessary to protect the stability of the American financial system. And that's my job and responsibility, and AIG is systemic.
The first thing that France did when they went socialistic was nationalize the banks. We have skirted nationalization of the banks under you, and the amount of money that we have been putting in banks all over this country. Now, We won't call it nationalization because that's a bad word. But if you tell me how many banks have accepted money from the federal government, I'll give you a little better idea on what nationalization is.
Senator, are you speaking in favor of nationalization or against it?
No, I'm,
You're against it.
that's really funny.
No, I wasn't trying to be funny. I just want to make sure I understand. You said we skirted it, but you were not praising me, I thought. for
No, I'm
skirting
not.
it. Okay. So the information on who's taken money from the government in terms of capital and the amount of capital.
How many banks?
It's publicly available on the website. It's in the hundreds. But what matters is the amount in terms of that capital.
Now, okay, I understand all those things. I have a community banker who attacked me out in Paducah, Kentucky, on FDIC assessment. Their assessment went up 1,000%. They're getting charged and didn't have any failures for those who failed. Explain that to me.
You're absolutely right. I think this is a deeply unfair thing, and it causes concern across community banks across the country. You're absolutely right. The way our system is designed is the FDIC is obligated under law to assess a tax over a period of time, or raise the premium over a period of time across the entire financial, and that does create this problem that people, again, who are responsible, ran well-managed banks are bearing the costs of the decisions made by others, and that's a deeply unfair thing. But that's the way the system's designed by the Congress is applied, and I think it's very important that we work together to make
We'll
sure
work together to change it. Thank you.